Alright guys, welcome back. We got a builds video today for the new GHB unit. So Wallace, very awesome character. If you guys have played FE7, you already know, but this dude is pretty badass. He comes with a Knight's Crest that you can use to automatically promote him. In hard mode, on Lin mode, you can actually use it on somebody else if you don't want to use it on him. But in normal Lin mode, you are forced to use it on him. And he starts talking so much trash to the enemies as soon as you use it. So yeah, very fun character for sure. And actually a very useful GHB because right now he is among the highest scoring units for free-to-play options. He ties with Raphael, which I guess we can go ahead and show that right now actually. They have the exact same BST of 211. And any Super Boon is going to jump them into the 215 bin, which both of these units have. Now, in terms of stat comparisons here, we've got 51 HP for Wallace. We got 59 for Raphael, so he's got a full-on 8 HP higher stat there. Then we've got the exact same attack for both, and both do have Super Boons on attack. Wallace has slightly less speed. He's got 28 speed, whereas Raphael has got 31 speed, but both of them are going to be over the 30 speed limit needed for patience once you get all your merges in and your dragon flowers. So they're both in pretty much the correct amount of speed bin that they would need to be. And then Wallace has got 48 defense, while Raphael's got 49, and Raphael does have a Super Boon on defense as well, whereas Wallace does not. Wallace's 3 Super Boons are on HP, attack, and speed. I don't know why they gave it to him in speed, but okay. And then this is where Wallace really shines over Raphael. He's got 35 res, and Raphael's only got 24. So this is where the 8 points of HP are made up by having 11 more points of res. And I would say that is a little bit more worthwhile, honestly, especially for a bait unit like Wallace, or depends on how you want to play him. You can run him a little more offensively if you just stick Emblem Edelgard's kit on him, which I've been doing for most of my armors for arena mode. So yeah, he compares pretty favorably to Raphael, and then the kicker here is that he's actually a Lance unit, which we don't get too often for free-to-play really good merge projects. They tend to always be green, which Raphael is. So a little bit more flavor there with his color, and also not only that, but he is now the better of the blue armors for arena as opposed to this Grima here that's available on freebies. Now, they are different units, I have to admit. Grima is a armored dragon, so he's got access to different skills, and he has Arcane Outburst, which honestly is just better than any weapon Wallace can equip, especially for arena mode. But if that's not an issue for you, and then we are eventually going to get better lances in the future anyway, then he's a little better overall, I would say, although Robin is still worth building. It's not like Grima has gone extinct just because of Wallace. They're both pretty good options still. Speed is a real problem for Grima, though, if you're going to give him patience for arena. So you got to keep that in mind. To get this guy over 30 speed to get the potent from patience, you do have to invest in his speed a little bit, which can be a bummer, but he has way higher res than both of these guys over here. He's got way more than Raphael and Wallace over there. So his speed was dumped so he could actually have better res. Got less HP and then virtually the same everywhere else. So make of it what you will, whatever your armored arena core is going to be. Marnie is also still an option. She does score 1 bin higher than Grima. We can go ahead and take a look at the arena score bins right here. So 88 potential scoring is where we have Raphael and Skrimir, and you can toss Wallace in there as well. Right below that at 87 we have Marnie, and then we have Grima. Okay, so I might have misspoke. I think I might have said Marnie's scores have been higher than Grima. Not the case. They're in the same bin. So, yeah, those are pretty much the options now for arena armor scoring. Now, let's take a look at Wallace's kit here. So, in terms of his base kit, he has this new weapon, Forged Lance Plus. At the start of player phase or enemy phase, grants attack and defense up 6 to unit and allies in 3 spaces for 1 turn. Grants all stats of 5 to unit. Unit deals plus X damage, excluding on AoEs. And reduce damage from foes' attacks by 50% of X during combat, excluding on AoEs, where X is the highest total bonuses among unit and allies in 3 spaces. Now, there's a couple of ways you could look at this. If you're getting all stats up 6, it's basically 24 points of true damage and then 12 points of true DR, which is pretty good. But if that's going to be the case, I think Arcane Crimson is just a little better. Honestly, like this weapon, it's got -1 cooldown. You get this Crux debuff on the enemies of attack, speed, and defense -5, and that's perfectly fine. He does not need to be doing res -5 for himself. So the attack is fine because that'll raise your res essentially by lowering the enemy's attack by 5, and then speed and defense is what he wants to go for. Maybe not so much speed, but then that's already going to equate to the all stats of 5 that you're getting from Forged Lance. And then you're getting 25... What is it? If the foe initiates combat or your HP is over 25% at the start of combat, you get 25% of the foe's attack at the start of combat -9 to your stats. So that would be a max of 9, essentially, which you're most likely going to get. Like, enemies' attacks, they're going to have like 70, 80 attack in Arena, basically. So, the all stats of 9, there's no comparison here for Forged Lance. It doesn't have extra stats outside of the all stats of 5. So, we have that, and then we're only getting 15% of Wallace's attack as true damage, but it does work on AoEs, unlike with Forged Lance. And then you're reducing damage from foes' attacks also by 15% of your attack. So let's take a look at Wallace one more time. Let's see here. He's got 49 attack. If you give him a super boon, it's a little better. Actually, also, if you give him merges and flowers, it's a lot better. So just for the sake of this, we'll go ahead and give him max... well, we should equip his weapon too, right? So that he actually is going to... this will be a correct comparison here. So... 74 attack with everything equipped, and then we times that by 15 to see what 15% of that is, and that's roughly 11 points of true damage and true DR. So you're getting a little more true damage from Forged Lance, but it's not giving you the +9 to all stats, whereas Arcane Crimson is, and then it's giving you the true damage, and the true DR is roughly the same. It's, what, 12 points with Forged Lance, whereas 11 points over here, and then you're still getting defense and res bonuses. So I gotta admit, man, Arcane Crimson is better. But this is an okay weapon, especially if you don't have additional fodder. It's not that far off from the best option. Then for his passives, we've got Ignis there. We got Earth Boost 3, and then we got Wily Fighter 3. Pretty cool to see Wily Fighter on a demoted unit. So if you're trying to get Wily Fighter 4, it's just a little bit easier. But, I mean, at this point, those armor skills are whatever. Okay, so now let's go ahead and take a look at the builds for our boy Wallace here. So the first build, this is what I would say is the arena build. I mean, I've been doing this on basically all the arena armors now, and it's got a lot of flexibility. So Arcane Crimson, we just explained why. Reposition Gate, there's a lot of options with the Emblem Ring. You could go for Edelgard Ring, so he gets another action. You go for Byleth Ring, so he can refresh somebody and repo them to safety at the same time. You could also go for Swap Gate, too, if you're going to go for Byleth Ring, because then he'll swap in. He's not going to push the unit that he dances too far away. Like, Reposition would push them 2 spaces away. Swap would only push them 1 space away. So they're still within range to attack another foe. And you could also give him the Erica Ring, give him Brave Attacking with Patience, so he can hit 5 times, potentially. As you can see, we're well over the 30 speed required to get the extra attack from Patience there. Distant Counter Melee, highest scoring Sacred Seal you can go for. Strat Assault, it's got Crux debuffs on the enemies. It does stats, and then you get 5 true damage. And then it's giving True Charge to everybody and +1 movement to Wallace. So just a really, really good skill for Arena. And then Strat Flame, again, a really good skill for Arena because you can reset tiles, set up the fire tiles, get rid of any Corin tiles, and at the same time, it's giving you a crazy amount of stats and some true damage and stuff. So, yeah, this would be the go-to. Sly Echo, there's actually not that many available armored Echo skills. Sly Echo is basically the best one for DPS. You can go for Mercy Wing Echo if you want him to be able to move a little better. Although, Strat Assault should have you covered with movement. And then Distant Counter Echo, which we'll show on the next build, but on this build, he doesn't need it because you can just run the Distant Counter Seal. And then finally, we have the bait build here. Well, not really bait build, more so just a save build. So we got Attack Defense Briar, Physical Save. We got Shield Fighter there. Very good with Pavis, of course. Arcane Crimson's got us the -1. Marth Ring gives us the other -1, so we get Pavis off on essentially every enemy attack. Diluvial Boost, still the go-to armored skill for these save armors. And then This time we'll go for Distant Counter Echo here, because, I mean, it wouldn't make much sense to run Sly Echo on a save unit. There's also a bunch of other saves you could give him. You could give him Near Save as well. His res isn't as bad as Raphael's, so he can make a little bit better use of Near Save, although it's still not recommended. I would still say probably just go for Physical Save instead. And that's basically everything there is to cover. As far as Wallace is concerned, Armored Flare, by the way, is pretty good because it's giving you great talent, and it's also essentially just a better version of Armored Blaze. So Armored Flare and Armored Ice Cap are basically the two new go-tos for these armored special skills. And yeah, that's basically everything there is to say about Wallace. Is he worth building? Yes. He is good for arena for scoring, and he's just an overall okay unit too. So that's going to wrap us up for this one, guys. Hope y'all enjoyed the builds for Wallace, and I will catch y'all again on the flip side.